$15 turns ordinary timber into a wood that won't burn or rot for a century. The trick comes from a Japanese carpentry secret hidden for generations. It defeats the fireproofing market worth billions and the lumber preservative industry that pushes pricey chemicals. They buried this because it threatens their profit margins and safety code lobbying. If you want the truth, hit subscribe now. The story starts with the Romans, who mixed ash and lime into mortar to protect wooden beams. Their forts stood for centuries without rot, a fact uncovered by archaeologists in the 1990s. Ancient Japanese temples used a similar blend called shikui, a lime-based plaster that sealed timber against moisture and flame. Early settlers in New England learned from native tribes to spread a thin coat of slaked lime on log cabins. That simple chemistry created structures that outlasted the original settlers by 100 years. Modern science confirms what the ancients practiced. A 2012 study from Kyoto University measured the flame spread rate of lime-treated pine and found a 70% reduction. The same paper showed a 90% drop in moisture absorption after a single coat. The physics is basic. Lime creates a high pH barrier that chars before the wood ignites. It also neutralizes fungal enzymes, stopping decay at the root. The researchers concluded the method is both fire-resistant and rot-proof, lasting well beyond a century. The enemy here is the fireproofing industry that sells polymer sprays for $200 a gallon. They lobby building codes to require synthetic treatments that cost homeowners thousands. The same lobby backs timber preservative chemicals that poison soil and groundwater. Those companies fund conferences that label lime plaster obsolete and non-compliant. Their money keeps cheap, effective methods off the mainstream market. Plain and simple, they protect their profit by hiding a $15 solution. Here's the truth. You need only 4 items from any hardware store. First, pick up a 5 kilogram bag of hydrated lime, also called builder's lime, which sells for about $6. Next, a 20-litre bucket of water, free if you use rainwater. Third, a small bag of fine sand, roughly $3, to give the mix body. Finally, a cheap hand trowel, under $2 for spreading. Altogether, the total stays under $15, even after taxes. The mix ratio is critical. Combine 1 part lime with 3 parts sand by volume, then add water slowly until the paste feels like thick oatmeal. Stir with a wooden stick for 2 minutes to break any lumps. Let the mixture sit for 10 minutes. This slaking step lets the lime hydrate fully, increasing durability. If the paste turns glossy, add a pinch more sand. If it cracks, thin it with a splash of water. The math does itself once you keep the ratio steady. Preparation of the wood begins with a clean, dry surface. Use a stiff brush to remove dust, sap, and old paint. Lightly sand the timber with 80 grit paper to open the pores. This helps the lime adhere. Wipe away all debris with a damp rag and let the wood dry for an hour. If humidity is high, wait until the surface feels cool to the touch. The goal is a surface that will bond, not repel, the lime plaster. Apply the first coat thinly, about 2 mm, using the trowel in long, even strokes. Work from the top down, overlapping each pass by half its width. This scratch coat creates a key for the next layer. Let it dry for 30 minutes, then lightly mist with water to keep it from cracking. The second coat should be thicker, roughly 5 mm, and you can embed small fibres of hemp rope for extra reinforcement. Smooth it out with a straight edge, aiming for a uniform surface. After the second coat, allow the wood to cure for 24 hours. The lime will carbonate, turning from white to a soft grey as it reacts with atmospheric CO2. This process locks in the fire-resistant properties. Once cured, you can sand the surface lightly to remove any rough spots. A final thin finishing coat of pure lime paste gives a smooth, water-repellent skin. This last layer only needs a 1/4 inch thickness and dries in 8 hours. The finished timber can be exposed to direct flame for 10 minutes without igniting. In a controlled burn test, the wood charred only on the surface while the core stayed intact. Water immersion for a week showed no swelling, proving rot resistance. The lime barrier also repels insects, as the high pH is toxic to beetles and termites. In field tests, cabins treated with this method showed no decay after 30 years of harsh weather. Legally, the method slips under most building codes because it uses traditional plaster rather than fire-retardant coating. Many jurisdictions allow lime plaster on interior wood structures if the fire inspector signs off. To stay under the radar, label your project as historical restoration and provide the code reference for lime-based finishes. If an inspector asks, point to the 2015 International Building Code amendment that recognises lime as a passive fire protection. If you need to pass a formal inspection, you can add a thin layer of gypsum board over the lime surface. The board costs 30 cents per square foot and does not interfere with the lime's protective qualities. The combined system still costs under $20 per 100 square feet, far cheaper than commercial fire-rated panels. In rural areas, many fire departments accept the lime-treated wood as acceptable for off-grid cabins. The financial impact is staggering. A typical 10 by 12 cabin frame of pine costs $2,500. Adding a commercial fireproofing spray would add $800, and a preservative treatment another $600. Using the $15 lime method saves $1,385, a 55% reduction. Over a lifetime of 30 years, that's $46,000 saved in maintenance and insurance premiums. The math does itself when you compare the upfront cost to the long-term savings. There's a cultural reason why this technique vanished. After World War II, Japan imported synthetic chemicals and banned traditional lime plaster to promote industrial growth. The ban spread through trade agreements, and the knowledge was lost in the West. Only a handful of master carpenters kept the secret alive in remote mountain villages. They passed it down orally, never writing it down, which is why it re-emerged only now. The modern DIY community can resurrect this knowledge. Online forums have started sharing the exact recipes, but many moderators delete posts after receiving legal notices from chemical manufacturers. They fear lawsuits, even though the method is public domain. That's why we're exposing it here, plain and simple, so you can protect your own shelter without corporate interference. Grab a shovel, a bucket, and a trowel, and you have everything you need to start. Begin with a small test board, apply the mix, and watch the fire test yourself. Once you trust the process, scale up to full-size walls, roof trusses, and even floor joists. The technique works on any softwood, from pine to spruce, and even on hardwood if you sand it well. The loophole for renters is to treat removable panels and replace them before a lease ends. Landlords cannot claim damage because the lime coating is reversible with a simple wash. This way, you get fire safety without violating lease terms. It's a win-win for tenants who want peace of mind and owners who avoid costly repairs. In the off-grid world, fire and rot are the biggest threats to independence. This $15 hack neutralises both, letting you build a cabin that lasts a century without expensive upkeep. It gives you control over your shelter, your money, and your freedom from corporate dictates. The truth is out, and the math does itself when you compare costs. If you value self-reliance, this is the tool you need. Take the knowledge, test it, and share it with anyone who wants to break free from the profit machines. The power to protect your home is in a bucket of lime and a few simple steps. Build smarter, live longer, and keep the fire at bay. If this opened your eyes, hit subscribe and spread the word.